I'm noticing a pattern with my friends at our age, and maybe you see this too. And actually, some articles nationally are showing this rise in multi-generational living, where parents are moving in with their adult children so that it's a way for them to age in place with someone they love. But though this is a wonderful way to stay close, obviously there's obstacles and challenges to making this decision. And I thought it's kind of a great topic for us to kind of discuss from a financial standpoint, as well as some other key decisions that need to be made, things to consider before they move in, you, your parents, your siblings, and your spouse. And so I thought, as a certified financial planner, what can you offer as advice related to the financial aspect of how this might impact you or impact your parents?
Well, thank you, Jill. Yeah, I think there are a few good key things to consider, a few steps to take when you're considering having your parents move in. The first thing would be your finances. I mean, it kind of makes sense, right? You want to be honest and have a thorough look at the finances of both you and your parents to find out if your household can handle these extra costs involved. I mean, things like utilities and groceries and whatever else is involved, right, with the support of someone. Can you support your parents without risking your own retirement and long-term goals? What kind of insurance do they have? Do they have, good medical insurance and things that will cover some costs? Have there been any funds set aside for long-term care? Another thing are documents, things like healthcare proxies, healthcare directives, powers of attorney. Are those things in place? These can be uncomfortable talks, but having honest financial decisions and conversations up front can prevent a lot of confusion and resentment later on.
Those are all good points. And I know with one of my friendships, they thought it was time for their parent to maybe move in, but that was not the vision that their parent had of their aging in the years ahead. So you might be assuming, well, mom's kind of not remembering everything anymore. I think it's time to move her in. But that might not be the case of what mom feels is necessary. So there's questions like, has my parent even dropped hints, right, that they want to live with me?
Right.
Or am I just assuming that they do, that that's their plan? Also, how do they envision their aging, right? Do they want to stay independent? Do they want just more help in their own home? Or is a retirement community maybe something that even will help them be more social, but also have that assisted living component to it? And do they see this as a long-term move or maybe just a short-term next step solution for now? So really, it's their life, it's their well-being, and you want to make sure that they are buying in or have made these decisions. And if they can't make those decisions, that's a little bit different conversation that you'll want to have with all your family members.
Yeah, that's good, Jill. I think understanding their vision is really important, and discussing with them, what they see happening. But another important factor here is involving all of your family, okay? Especially your spouse. Like, you don't want to pop that one on your spouse, especially if there's issues and tensions with the in-laws or the outlaws. Are they going to be comfortable with bringing in your parents? Okay, your kids. Obviously having them come into the household changes the family dynamic. Even discussing this with your siblings, okay? If you bring in your parents, you're going to feel like you're doing most of the work, okay? So you need to know, are your siblings on board financially? Are they going to assist with transportation? Are they going to assist with respite care, coming in to help you out on the weekend so you get a break?
Absolutely necessary.
Those things are important, right?
Right.
And then discussing the timeline of the move, as well as even having a plan B. What if it doesn't work out? Even in the most optimistic situations, sometimes things don't work out as planned. So make it a team decision, okay? Involve your whole family in that.
Right, and that's what I've seen with my friends. The respite care, especially having this other sibling who wasn't even in the same city as my friend, obviously come flying in to provide time for them to step away from the circumstance that was very important to her. And it really actually mentally for her own health was important as well. And thankfully she had a loving spouse who also was open to the decision. So these are hard conversations, but they're definitely the ones that have to happen on the front end so that no one's really surprised by what the reality is. And talking about the reality, what is the reality, right? What does this change within your own household? If you do have children living at home and say they're used to TV time or video game time in the evenings, well, for an older one, quiet time is generally more such an evening activity. So how are you going to work and share space? How are you going to share the kitchen? Whose things are going to be what? How are you going to share the laundry timing? If you're a mother with children at home, there's always too much laundry to do. Those are things to really reflect on. That's the reality of living in a home with other individuals.
Right.
And then transportation. If your parents no longer can drive, who's going to get them to those medical appointments? Who's going to get them socially involved so that they're staying involved in the community, or they're staying involved with their friendship groups? Is there a senior transportation service in your area, a nonprofit, or even your local county transportation center? Some of them have senior services at a reduced rate that could take your parent to activities or take your parent to medical appointments. And then for their own health, what are the things you have to do with your own home to make that a more safe environment? Is it a grab bar in the bathroom? Is it perhaps a detection device so your parent can't walk out the door, say there's dementia issues or memory issues, that they don't walk out and get lost? You would know when they're coming in and out of the home. I know that from experience with my friend. And then also knowing what their doctors recommend. Their doctors should very well know what their medical situation is and how you will need to implement certain things in your home to make sure that medically they're safe, mentally they're safe, cognitively they're engaged, but also safe.
Absolutely, that's right. Thank you, Jill. And then one final point we make is to learn from others. Okay, don't try to go this alone, or make these decisions by yourself. Work with other people. Talk to people who've done this before. There's coworkers, of course, and then online caregiver groups. There's a website called aginglifecare.org, aginglifecare.org, that would help you with finding local care managers. They have people called life care managers who are like an advocate for you that can help you with these kinds of decisions. So that would help as well, so that you're not feeling like you're alone.
Those are great resources. Having parents move in with you, it's a really loving act, right? They took care of you in your youth, and now they're absolutely in a circumstance that it's maybe your turn to return that love back to them. But you definitely want clear communication about what this change means, what the expectations are of you, for them, and for the siblings or spouses or children involved in that household. Plan. Be flexible with the changes as they come through the years. And what could be harder, right? Making the decision to move the parent in, or having to tell the parent this isn't working and having them move out. So the more planning ahead, the more conversations ahead, difficult as they may be, are going to make this a more successful change in everyone's life. So start your conversations early if this is something you're facing. Get everyone on the same page. Create a plan that supports both your parents' needs as well as your own. Consider your finances. Talk to your financial advisor.
Don't forget your financial advisor in that.
And don't forget your parents' financial advisor. Maybe you've never even met them, but it's time for them to come on board to understand what these changes might be. So with preparation and teamwork, it can truly be a rewarding experience for everyone involved. And I know that with my friends, they're doing a great job at taking care of and living with their parents.
Thank you, Jill. So if you like this video, please click the like button and hit the subscribe bell below, because we'd love for you to see all our other educational videos as well.